Sure. So if we start with the problem, if you look at the thing that keeps startups up at night is trying to build a product that customers want. So lean is something that originally came out of the Toyota production system from lean manufacturing, but the big message behind it is one of speed of execution. It's about trying to test out your core assumptions in your business model as quickly as possible and thereby increasing your odds of success. Sure. So the Lean Canvas is being used today by lots of universities around the world. We have about 150 of them, some of them even at the high school level. And so what I found to be very exciting is that everyone has an idea. You can ask even a 9-year-old and they probably have some business idea inside them. And so what a tool like a Lean Canvas lets people do is look at their business idea a lot like a play model. So I often draw the analogy with Lego blocks. But the idea is to get people to start communicating their ideas, not just with keeping it to themselves and keeping it on their heads, but with other people, and that's what the Lean Canvas was designed for. It's a canvas format with 9 basic building blocks. Once you understand what they are, they're very accessible. Things like who my customer is, what problems am I solving. You can very quickly communicate an idea to people and get the right kinds of either feedback or support behind those ideas. So if we look at the alternative, if a student has an idea, and I'll start with the business school and we can maybe bring it down, is if a student wants to pursue an idea, they typically have to go through a lot of kind of educational material, go down the business planning process, get versed in accounting, but a lot of those things are not as relevant when you're starting out a product. It's a lot more important to get the basics of the idea out, and that's where the Lean Canvas speeds up that process. So rather than spending 6 months learning how to become an accountant, you can in a few hours learn how to think more entrepreneurially and identify what's riskiest in the business model and prioritize starting to run some tests around that. So I find that a lot of people get more excited by that. Even like I said, at the high school level, students want to get outside and test their ideas as quickly as possible, tend to be more impatient, and that's kind of the big value add with the lean approach. Yeah, so I would say that what I found that kind of the right advisor model that works is not really judging ideas on what you're hearing, but rather asking the right questions. And so I take a very Socratic method in my own consulting, even with big companies. It's not so much saying, yeah, this idea will never work, but rather leading the student, in this case, down the path of understanding why an idea may or may not work. So again, not casting a lot of judgment, because for every idea you think will not work, some entrepreneur out there is going to prove you wrong. That's just the nature of how these startups get formed. But more importantly, it's about asking the right questions versus giving them the right answers.